The Nilo's list is so good, but so criminal. I mean, look, that's just invoked for you. We can take a look at the list in a second. I did want to take a look at the deck profile anyways. But bro, in the invoked cards, I'm pretty sure I said this when I read these cards for the first time. It's like, bro, if this deck ever sees play, it's like, it's miserable. The invoked cards, literally, they're extra deck monsters, bro. Omni Negate, Kaliga, Floodgate. The new guy is Macrocosmos, and then the other new guy is triple banished, triple extra deck rip. Like, come on, man. Who thought that was a good idea? You know what? Let's start with that. Let's take a look at the Nilo's. This is the feature match. I wanted to take a look at the feature match as well, but I did want to take a look at the deck profile first. I played Invoked in 2026 and it got me to the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships.
Hi guys, we are here with Invocator number 1. Invocatori. We almost qualified towards twice in a weekend. Same deck, same main deck and extra deck from playoffs and main event. Just a few side deck differences that we're gonna talk about. First of all, super thankful to all these guys that helped me preparing for this tournament, and without them I would have not gone to Worlds.
Also, I didn't test this deck myself. I mean, I told you that I didn't have that much time recently, but from what I've heard, it's supposed to be really good against Cool Tune. Is what I've been told.
Not true. Okay, let's start with the cards. The best card in the deck, arguably, and the cards that get to the best card in the deck. They fake a good card. This card is good, but is not as good as this one. This card is broken because I mean, I had.
Can Meltdown searches Alistair the Invoker, right? Meltdown does not search the new Alistair.
Multiple people ghost belling my invocation with this card. One more. This is the starters, and then the broken. These are crossouts, literally. If you draw them, 1+1 monster, you can never lose.
I mean, Invocation. I've been thinking about this. Invocation is a really good fusion spell this format, because Invocation, you can just banish your opponent's graveyard, which is a very, very underrated fusion spell, I suppose. Like, of course, going first, it doesn't give you that much, because going first, it doesn't apply, because they don't have a graveyard yet. But, like, this is something that I'm sure, like, the branded matchup for this deck, if you go second, this card is kind of nuts, isn't it?
The game. 3, for sure 3. This card is probably also one of the better cards in the deck, because I played, they didn't want to, Sorcerer of the
Zauberer aus dem Sumpf.
Swamp. They chose to play Desires instead, but I like this card more. Sei morto. Mi spiace. Anyways, this card.
What does he even do? I think it banishes. You special summon it from hand, so it's like a spellcaster extender. It banishes. Does it banish from extra deck or does it banish from deck? I think it banishes from deck the Alistair. And then it's treated as Alistair, something like that.
Do not play Desires, my opinion. Vikaram, I forgot I died in top 8 because I was super tired, but it didn't matter. I don't think I would have ever broke the board anyways. Crowley, this card is the worst card ever, but is also what saved the deck from being trashed. I draw it, I think, more than 11 or 12 times.
I hate Crowley, man. Ever since I played Magistus Dracotail, these are the Poplars, I feel like, are the worst kind of... not the worst is not true, but like they're not the worst kind of bricks, but it's very annoying because it's like they're so good when they're in your deck and so bad when you draw them in comparison.
It's the only it's a brick that is a play. So it's like not as awful as a brick, but if you draw it, your lines get significantly worse. You see, there is no Spenta. Why would we play this? Because these cards are all spellcasters. Shocker. So you could just go Artemis into this, equip, search, and then this can make either an extension with this card using this and this, or you make your Omni Negate in Mekaba. So the card is really good in the deck. Have you missed Beretranda? No, that card is awful. Okay, that's for the engine. I think that should be everything. Now,
Okay, so this deck, you know, you can say whatever you want about it, but it is kind of like a it's not like a sloppy combo deck. It does have some pretty toxic end board pieces in itself, but it doesn't like because I wasn't sure what to expect from it. I haven't seen much of the feature matches. I do want to see the feature match that qualified the Nilo 4 Worlds after this, but it feels like a relatively low ceiling deck. That's, I mean, it is kind of hard carried probably by the incredible power level of the extra deck monsters.
now for non-engine, if you play a deck that has a specific, it's like Albus. It's
Yeah.
Shifter.
Oh.
I only draw it in playoffs. Good enough. Not complaining. Not complaining. Is really good with this card. So you can play your like pretty decent combos under Shifter, and they can never play the game, so you play it. And then every lingering entrap that I thought it was decent enough to be played. It's just I don't really like 1-for-1 entraps aside of Vash because it negates Fuvalos, and this deck I don't want to say loses to Fuvalos, but Fuvalos is a good card against it. And Call Bite. Unworthy card. 40 card main deck. Obviously 40 cards. You cannot play over 40 cards if you want to do well in 15 round events, please. You have to play 40. Extra deck. For our win conditions, these three.
L'hai portato il costume?
I think there is a reason this card was printed as a common. He's not gonna survive a lot.
It's I actually that could be true. I hope that's true because I do not understand who made these two. Honestly, I don't even know which one is more toxic. I actually think the left one might be more toxic. I think the left one might be more toxic. It's actually insane. Triple banish and then triple extra deck banish is crazy. It's actually crazy.
Personal opinion. I honestly, after the tournament, I would cut the only flex spot, which is Theseus, for the third Ion.
Okay,
I don't know if you guys
okay.
agree. I think I would have won significantly more games if I had the third one.
Eric 9?
You
don't lose a lot of game, man. You don't lose a lot.
So, I mean, this was... I for sure would have played this in playoffs. For the main event, I should have swapped these ones, but I was lazy. I didn't care, honestly.
Dude, the fact that here's the thing, right? I haven't played the deck myself yet, but the fact that the Invoked players are considering to play 3 copies of this card makes me scared. Right? That's something that makes me scared. If they're like, oh yeah, I could summon 3 of this like frequently, I would like to play 3 of that. That is scary.
Passing the third Ion the night before, but we didn't find the spot.
And then for, I mean, Link monsters, I mean, I already talked about these two, pretty good. And SP, you need it literally, it's generic Link 2. That's the main reason. And if you want, sometimes you can banish these to have an extra banish on your opponent's turn of sword. That's it. And the best Link monster you have, Alistair. Il pazzo. The rest of the fusions, the Elixir Collector straight from Clash Royale, the print bodies.
Especially good at undershifter.
Yeah, good card.
Baba Yaga.
Alt win condition into Mitsurugi. Don't leak the account.
It's too late.
Omni Negate, great card, won in the playoffs. Prime, this card you always banish it and never care about it, honestly.
I summoned it.
I summoned it in testing a lot, but in the tournament didn't really come up. People see one Alistair, this cool.
The main reason why is here is for banish 3 the extra.
Yeah.
Because you need the attribute
For the combo.
to win.
Elysium and this card changed the matchup with Chaos and that is so broken.
Yeah.
Like you have to play this card.
With Meltdown it's crazy.
Yeah. Also, before you guys ask me, yes, I will do a combo guide. Yes, it will be in my MetaFi guide. I said the line. Yes, I will do the guide as soon as I can. Side deck, Entrap mode for FTK decks. These cards were good. I would play them again. For going first, this card was really good. I would play it again. This card completely useless.
We won!
I woke up at 4 AM before playoffs, and I'm like, what about Ferry? Nobody said no because I was alone, basically. Let's play Ferry. This was also played in playoffs. Then in playoffs I played, I think I still played this, but yeah, these two played the same. These are the 4 cards difference from playoffs and main event. The play was 3 soundproofed.
The third Ferry.
And the third Ferry. For the main event, since we didn't have to ultra counter KT, two bots to draw into the most useless card I ever played. Honestly, these 6 could be anything. So that's
I like Pot of Sloth.
I don't want to sound cocky, but we really did pick the deck last week, and we didn't have infinite time on it, so we couldn't figure out consistently what side cards these were. But moving forward, these would be different cards for sure.
Moving forward.
And yeah.
Okay, now here's the thing, right? I understand the concept behind the deck. I understand the extra deck monsters are incredibly broken. I do need to see it in action. I genuinely haven't seen this deck in action once. This is also on me because I wasn't as well prepared as I should have been for this tournament, but I really want to see it. So this is the round. So they've changed the way the playoffs work actually a little bit, which I think was very pleasant for the player. At least I imagine it to be very good. So the way it works, of course, the World's Points playoff is 16 people, and they used to play 4 rounds of Swiss and then top 4. The problem with this is that after 4 rounds of Swiss with 16 players, usually you end up having 1 4-0 and 4 3-1s, which means one person in previous years has missed out on top 4 just based off tiebreakers after going 3-1 in the playoffs, which is really bad. You definitely don't want an X1 to miss out on top 4 because of tiebreakers. And in that sense, I think it was really good what they did, because what they did this year was the player who went 4-0 would automatically qualify for Worlds, and then the 4 3-1s, they would play like a mini top 4 basically, right? So this is round 4, where I think Danilo and Leonardo are both 3-0, so the winner is guaranteed and the other one has to play another game. Do you prefer the Europe or NA version of the playoff where you have Swiss rounds in Europe or single elimination in NA? I can't think of anything like organization-wise that NA is doing better than EU, unironically. I don't know. I don't think there is something. So yeah, the EU one is significantly better. Especially with the changes that they've done this year. Only problem here is that 5th place was 2-2. Yeah, because of a double loss in the last round. But like, even that is not a problem, because I would rather have someone sneak in with a bad record and get lucky than someone be excluded with X1 and be incredibly unlucky. That's fine. You know, like this is a significantly better outcome than if an X1 had not made it.
When the players just
telling you going into it, I didn't play at my best because pressure was insane. I mean, yeah, I can imagine. I've been there before. I really can't imagine the pressure in this is crazy. Hold up. No chat in this one. Oh.
Walked by our table with the judge. The judge informed us, okay, the game has started. 1 card has been activated.
Hey, these are my favorite invoked cards actually.
And Danilo, with the biggest smile on his face, said, it was Shifter.
It was Shifter. And another one followed in the standby phase. There is a Mold Charmy Perulia as well. This is hilarious because most of the foolish cards, or quote-unquote foolish cards, would be countered by the Dimension Shifter resolving. But the Pendulum Treasure, that one sends straight to the extra deck, so there is no touching the graveyard at any point, and it just goes straight into that extra deck face up as Pendulum cards like it.
There's really not anything foolish about that, I want to say. Let's talk a little bit more about the Invoked deck from Danilo.
It's crazy.
Chaos Origins has given us so much already. We have seen the Light and Darkness Ritual deck before, now also Invoked. Did you have that on your radar, Basti?
I absolutely did not, and also especially by Danilo I did not expect it, because Danilo has been so strong.
Can Power Patron play through Shifter?
all of those fusion decks. And I mean, at the end of the day, the Invoked kind of fits as well.
Not
Also being
well,
a
I don't
strategy,
think.
but it definitely wasn't the one that I had on my list for him specifically. And we talked to him earlier, and before the playoff, before he knew it would be going so well, he said, I made the craziest call ever. Please let this work out.
Yeah.
And wow, it is working out so far with the Invoked deck here.
Yep, he needs to win one of possibly 2 matches that he's going to play. Just one game out of 2, one match out of 2 have to be won. And this could be the one, starting with Purulia and Shifter. Nothing to scoff at, but how much can play Leonardo through that? How much do you play through a Shifter?
Well, of course, yes, we did have success.
Okay, draw 2, discard 1 for this. Destroys itself now, but gets banished.
Because the way the game
Right.
mechanic, of course, works regarding pendulum cards, the moment they would try to go to the graveyard before they go in, like they check whether they would go into the graveyard, and here they wouldn't go to the graveyard, so they would be banished before they could ever get into the action
Wait, wasn't the draw 2, discard 1 from the scale? Doesn't it have to pop itself after, or is that optional?
deck. So just by the nature of things, Dimension Shifter counters all kind of pendulum shenanigans, so it is definitely hurtful for the Power Patron deck. Maybe the Archmage part, depending on how big it is in Leonardo's deck, can make
Am
up
I
for that.
tripping?
But looking at the list he brought here into this environment, it's just a very, very small Archmage package. It's rather a poor
Okay,
Patron deck with a couple of Archmage cards there.
Yeah, it was basically only Medios, right? And some of the cards that are also Power Patron.
Just the Vandalism Assault, he plays one copy of that, but that's it's really not something that is comboing. It's just a good starter to have, but nothing beyond that.
How much can Danilo play with just in the next turn 4 cards in the set? It does not feel like Leonardo wants to give many draw.
Normal summon roll!
To give a draw for the Purulia does not feel great.
Not the one I expected, but I mean, you couldn't use it next turn, so it does make sense in the end. We're banishing Dimension Shifter here from the graveyard.
Oh, we're mad at that Shifter.
Applications, as Invocation, of course, needs or can also be fusion summoning with materials from the graveyard. And when there is no Dark Monster, that makes it a lot harder to actually make it resolve.
Yeah, and there is a very, very important card that you want to summon with Dark Invoked Oceanus. That is the good old Dimensional Fissure on legs if it's in the extra monster zone. However, you need a Dark or a Water monster, so Purulia would also work for that. And now he decides to kick us off.
Why are we calling it Oceanus?
It gotta be, yeah. But is Leonardo responding to it in any way?
That is the Magistus invocation.
I think it's the Sacred Spirit Sword Iwas. Yeah, it's Iwas. And that one actually just takes Alistair and either adds it from your deck to your hand or sends it to the graveyard or banish it. I mean, sending it to the graveyard and banishing here in that case.
So how is the Iwas worded? Does SP check it?
Access to not the Alistair actually, but just something that looks like Alistair a lot, and that is the Iwas itself.
And that one gets us Alistair.
Yeah. If we really wanted to.
Or does it banish for cost?
So Danilo, considering his options, made a
Banishes
crazy
for cost?
call to
Okay.
Go into this tournament with a deck that is, I mean, I thought in this 16-player environment, it is almost borderline impossible to surprise the competition because they are going to be so well prepared, over prepared, like playing hundreds, if not thousands of matches to prepare for this tournament. I think Danilo may have been.
It's funny to me because Danilo said in his deck profile he was trying to hard counter Cool Tune. And I remember talking to Jordan before the playoffs as well, and he also expected a lot of Cool Tune. There was only 3 Cool Tunes in the playoffs. A lot of people tried to make some kind of meta call or play their comfort deck, actually.
Successful though, because surely
There was
no one
5?
except
Oh, I thought it was 3. Who was all on Cool Tune?
himself expected Invoked to be the pick for the tournament.
And there we see Crowley. Name is this. That is also a good old starter. Previously seen a lot in Draco Tail Magistus. I mean, not a lot, but it was certainly there.
And it's a one-off here. Looks like we are going to respond to Crowley with the effect of SP Little Knight, banishing that SP. Oh, there is the Alistair though. Hold on.
Kevin, Philip, Gabriel, Yuna, Tim. I thought Gabriel was playing something else. I don't remember.
I think we used the effect of Crowley, and we
But yes, the other, yeah, there was at least 4. Yeah.
Still going to resolve that effect with one Alistair in the hand.
Oh, he played chess Cool Tune. Okay, that's where my confusion is coming from, because someone, I think throughout the day, someone came up to me and said like he's playing an Angelic deck. I didn't know it was with Cool Tune. Okay, that's why. Yeah, okay.
And that is an old school. That is a blast from the past. Is that really a card booking a ticket to the
Ragin
this weekend? Invoked Ragin attacking for an insanely powerful 2,200 attack points. And in case you forgot what it does, because it has been a while since I saw that card for the last time, it's basically just a Book of Moon on Lax.
Yeah, this card is, which is incredibly strong, especially versus pendulum strategies. If you book those, it's a high chance of.
Ragin is Josh's favorite Invoke fusion, I bet. I mean, it is probably the healthiest one, yeah.
the Raging properly, and the Crowley
Which is
gonna be
not
ready.
hard.
This one is only returning, and also it's the same turn, so the effect cannot be triggered. That one is just chilling there for a little bit.
Ooh, I mean, when they walked by and Danilo proudly told us, yep, I have resolved Dimension Shifter, you could really tell that one of them, and that was Danilo, was way happier with the situation. But honestly, this does not look so bad here for Leonardo. He has a field spell already online. Oh, look at this. Of course, the Dimension Shifter hurts us even more so now because our field spell is once again reducing the attack points of
The healthiest one is Magalancia. Isn't that one a vanilla?
So we are now bigger with our SP Little Knight. We're flipping the rage and face down before it can be run over, and the defense points were not lowered, so we do actually get.
Wait, Raging is not hard once per turn, right?
But back in the day, and Ash Blossom now as well to stop the plays from Leonardo, and he's also having something in hand to reveal for the planet.
So we can now do it again. So this battle phase was just wasted.
And then you can just you're revealing from the extra deck, and then you get to just simply
That's
search
neat.
or special summon, and that's all you need really. Like, you can get any kind of power patron that you like. There it is, the face down banish. So in the matchup of decks that are truly not like the most represented today,
Ash going second wins this? Oh yeah, yeah. We just ignored the shifter.
That is a
Yep.
brand new match of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Ash Blossom wins this one.
That has never been seen before on stream. Invoked versus
Sure.
Power Patron.
But one really fun thing about the Invoked Rage, and that Leonardo is also double-checking there. With that interaction that he did there, he basically reset his own Raging as well, because Raging is just a soft once per turn. So that was a wasted battle phase for Leonardo, even taking a little bit of damage in the process, because that Raging now is ready to set cards once more.
Oh, true. You can just take the Jupredo, put it face down, and if the SP Little Knight wants to deny that, then have fun banishing the Jupredo until the end phase.
Yeah. I think that Invoked Raging, as ancient as it is, I don't even know what year is it released. Let me double check here. Fusion Enforcers was 2017. You gotta be kidding me. That's almost 10 years ago since the first appearance of Alistair himself, and now all of a sudden back onto the big stage where no one.
Dude, Alistair's almost 10 years old. Don't tell me that. Don't give me that information. I didn't need that information to watch this match.
Because they thought it was cool. They're saying now, okay, absolutely, I'm gonna bring this. Danilo is showing the judges, I think, probably to say, hey, this is soft.
It's gotta be about the same, same thing, yeah. It would have to be. I think maybe they are trying to find out whether, like, what happens if the card gets booked on resolution. Maybe that could be what the question is about. Oh, so like that's the only thing I can imagine, really. Or maybe if the card is.
I think the card just forgets everything as soon as it's booked. That's.
Did Danilo not realize, but because Sacheti read it, he double checked? I think what's going on right now is because Radiant does say once per turn. I think they're discussing about whether it resets after the card was flipped face down and flipped back face up, which I'm like 99% sure the answer is yes. I think a card that's flipped face down and flipped back face up does reset a once per turn, a soft once per turn. But I think that's what they're probably talking about right now.
Maybe it does.
Always was, right? So I mean, that was a play back in the day. It was a play to book your own Raging. I don't know what for.
I mean, so the way Jupredo is worded, it says you can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy this card if you do special summon 1 Jupiter from your extra deck. So is it still this card? I don't think it is, right? As soon as it's booked, I don't believe it is. But why even make that matter? Yeah. Why don't we just go ahead and preemptively use the effect of Invoked Rage?
I mean,
maybe it's too late. Maybe you forgot.
Yeah, Leonardo worked so hard on just getting this card out, just getting anything on the board.
Okay, let me just see when they continue playing. Sorry, Lampy and Leo. It's a long judge call. Holy. Okay, when are we playing the game?
It has to be specifically in the extra months.
So it is looking like we are able to use Invoked Rage now on the Jupredo, and now Leonardo is once again going to banish for Crowley alongside the Jupredo before it could get put face down, and it goes back to Danilo. End phase. So Danilo, the one.
Why even chain SP then?
Happily able to use his Raijin and go into his turn again.
I mean, yeah, arguably this game 1 is probably not the best way to look and learn how this deck works.
What kind of match are we seeing here? For the World Championship, they're just playing one of the most absurd games ever. You can't even run over the Little Knight here still, because all of your monsters are just small.
And if you run over Jupredo, I think it gets sent face up to the extra deck, and that's not necessarily something that you want. SP Little Knight again does the same thing, takes out the Crowley. Maybe that was bait.
Really
this feels baity, yeah. This feels risky to use SP there.
Getting that Crowley banished once again. Like, Crowley has been banished more than any Malice monster when Rico played.
That is very true.
And we do have another copy of that sword, and it is bringing out the Iwas again.
Now, without any further interruption, I think it could finally be Danilo's time to really start playing, because you haven't normal summoned here. It normal summons the new Alistar.
You do get an extra normal summon from the Iwas, right? When you banish it from the field. That's why the sword is so good. Because it's basically emergency teleport for this, and then this gets the bonus effect when you banish it from the field, that the thing you search you can just normal summon.
Danilo
Right.
is in this, and Leonardo, I mean, looking at Leonardo's deck list overall, his engine plays in the field decently well, but from here on out, with having cards on the field himself, which disables his Mulcharmy cards, there's really only, there's Dominus Impulse,
Okay.
and there is Troll and Lockbird, but I don't know how much they help. We are going to banish the Kaliga here now for the new Alistar, and that is going to resolve as well.
Found, I think this time was the new Invocation.
Yes, he did. Oh my, and Leonardo is certainly also surprised by the deck that Danilo has brought up. Is going to have
The sword also has a random extra grip. Yeah, the sword has like 3 different effects or 2 different effects. The best one is, of course, to just summon the Iwas from the deck, but you can like also just take a random card out of your opponent's extra deck, because why not?
He did not expect anyone to bring... Oh, we also see the extended art super polarizations in this deck. That's a nice add-on there as well.
Gotta love this. We banish another Alistar. So remind me again, the way to recycle Alistar and Invocation, you had to have Alistar in graveyard and Invocation banished, right?
No, it's the other way around. This
Oh,
concept,
yeah,
right?
that also makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. The Invocation needs to be in the graveyard, which we are probably able to get to you this
It
turn.
does make a lot more sense because, you know, Invocation banishes Alistar.
Yeah. Exactly. Would have been a weird way to go about it.
Then Foolish or Banish an Alistar. Yeah, it has like 3 effects.
Looking like we are going for a Link summon now, and when there's 2 different Alistars, how about another one? Or is it maybe... Oh, it's Aspie Little Knight stare down time here again. We are banishing the field spell on Leonardo's end.
So this is like reverse invocation, right? You return from banished to the graveyard to fuse.
Spell trap removal does he have, because this gets really annoying for him.
Yeah. So we go for the Invocation Sword now, and that is going to bring out one of the new additions to the deck.
From Chaos Origins, this card gives you recursion from the graveyard.
This summons a monster from grave.
I think you can even banish it from the graveyard to fusion summon.
You can, yeah. You can do that. You can use fusion materials from the graveyard alongside that as well. And we are going to now bring out the additional Alistar. And Danilo is just giving a lesson about this Invoked strategy here in the final round of the World's Points playoff to his opponent. This is absurd to me. In the last
Add back Alistar from grave.
never really had that
Normal summon. This is the second normal summon of the turn,
also showing up with such
because we get an extra normal summon from the Iwas.
really glad that this time someone was bold enough to surprise them all and us as well and bring a deck like this Alistar Invoked deck.
Danilo
Why does this deck do nothing in the OCG?
Worlds invite, as all of these
I don't know. Maybe it's because they already have other stuff like the Toon deck.
Assistant players in Europe. Second place at YCS Dortmund with his beloved Draco Tail deck. Invocation now, that's the original one, and we are going to use the Link monster from our field. What else are we going to use? Our graveyard and
Oh my god.
And that is the Oceanus in the extra monster zone, right?
Yeah, and Leonardo needs to read the card now.
Super cool looking card as well. Like that card. It's a common. You wouldn't expect that card, that kind of artwork to come as a common. It's just, it's so nice.
And I don't think Danilo is the type of player who wants this card as a common, looking at his field.
Well, maybe with him qualifying for Worlds this weekend, that card just makes itself eligible for an upgrade in OTS pack. Oh no, in Ultimate Tournament packs nowadays.
Oh, I will love that. But Oceanus is now being Dimensional Fissure on legs, as you said, and this is going to be problematic. You know, we have survived the shifter. Now we're using Soreth.
The momentum truly is shifting after we went into this nicely with a 1 die roll.
Oh, this guy in the grave is also like a miracle fusion, right? Like you get like 2 fusions out of this one, basically.
Nilo has taken control and is absolutely cruising here. As
Yeah, I remember.
The Hyper Invoked Ion.
Yeah, that one is being summoned by 2 fusion monsters, so you get rid of 2 cards. And Jupredo is being summoned back.
Dude, can we also talk about, I don't know if it ever comes up in this game, but like Mixuzia is kind of like an insane TCG exclusive once again, right? It reminds me of the power level of stuff like Necroquip and Garura, like in terms of meta warping. Like it's actually insane how good that card is. Not just for Invoked, but also for Branded. Like I read that card for the first time, I was like, okay, that's kind of good. But I did kind of even underestimate it. Like that card is crazy. Danilo doesn't play it, yeah, but I played it, and a lot of my opponents played it, and it does so much.
Okay, so that means we're in the end phase. So we have survived at least, but we have also carefully taken care of all the follow-up that Leonardo had at least presented on the field with the field spell. But the Gepredo is still on the field, so not sure how well we can deal with that.
The thing is,
The only super poly target lets you stop elf mode from making their first synchro. Oh, then I like it. Yeah, that's cool.
if it destroys something, does it destroy at the same time as the card that you're destroying? Because then if you use that to get rid of the Oceanus, you should be able to trigger and get into the extra deck. No?
Is that how it works? I'm not sure actually. I think they should probably be both banished at the same time. Not sure either. Oh, maybe we'll find out. Okay.
But it's not a scale effect anyways, because it's in the main monster zone, so that the option for destroying something...
It's not destroying anyhow. Yeah, you're right. True. So, Leonardo has picked up a card for a turn, and this first game is going on for a while now.
Yeah.
They
So this is... Wait, this is Aeon? Why did we make Aeon there?
are really trying to make sure that one of them is taking the upper end. If you win this game one, just psychologically as well, it's a huge advantage, because coming back from that game here almost feels impossible. I know these guys are the best in Europe, and maybe they would be the ones to pull it off, but if I would be sitting in their shoes and lose a game after fighting for it so hard, it would throw me off real hard.
And I think then you have like the lowest momentum going into the elimination matches.
Yes,
if you're just,
that too.
If you were just one game away already, like right now you're in a comfortable spot where you say to yourself, okay, I have 2 games, I just need to win one of them. If you've already lost the first one, that's when you have to have nerves of steel.
Exactly, and all the others come in with positive momentum because they lost their last round to secure their spots for another elimination match. But
Oh, I was just about to say, why is there a timer ticking down? Because don't you have untimed in the top cut? But this is, I forgot, this is not top 4 of the playoffs. This is round 4 of Swiss.
here, that might be the
So there is a timer
That
actually.
is something for later. For now, we can focus on who is actually going to end up being that person winning here in this first game and maybe in the overall match. While Leonardo is
I mean, this does seem cooked for...
trying to find an answer to all of this, but it really doesn't feel easy with another dimension shifter being presented to him here, basically.
Yeah, this one's just Fissure, yes, but then still go to the graveyard.
Nice.
Very big impact there.
Actually, against the pendulum cards? Wait, how does that work? No, I think that doesn't work. Yeah, they still get banished. Satch. Invoked Oceanus, 3,000 attack points, not...
I played the main event for fun. I never expected to get so far. Dude, you say this, and I know how it feels, because I did the same thing in 2019 where I went through the points playoffs and then I played the main event. You're on a different kind of buff when you come into the main event already qualified from the playoffs the day before. Like, you just... I feel like you say you don't care, but I feel like you play better because all the pressure is off. Like, you come off of such an awesome Friday. I feel like it's a crazy buff to go into the main event already qualified from the playoffs on Friday. It's insane. The feeling, it's hard to describe how little pressure you feel when you already did the thing on Friday. It's actually crazy.
Too shabby either, but here we go. Leonardo is trying his very best, bringing in that Vidolium into the pendulum zone, and we will be able to resolve that. What is that Perulia doing there, by the way, in the main monster zone? It's just chilling on there. I want to be part of it. I didn't get a draw for my players, so maybe I can help on the field.
There was one draw, the normal summon of draw and block.
True, you're right. Actually, it did a trick.
That was wild.
Yeah, it was.
And now Danilo has to read the Oceanus. Understandable.
Very much.
I think we would have all been there.
Both the players from the playoffs in NA made top 8 too. Wait, it was Luca was in top 8. And who was the other one from the playoffs? I forget. Oh, I forgot, dude. Oh yeah, Mario. Yeah, they both, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean though. Like, it's just, I don't know, there's just a different kind of buff to the freaking playoff winners, man.
For sure. I like what Leonardo did at the end of the last turn. It's something that I do every time I play against a rogue deck. I have no idea how it works. It's like, okay, so in your graveyard, is there anything that is interacting with me?
That is such a classic question to ask. Also, just always checking. Right now, what can you do? Yeah. Just explain to me, what can you do? Just
yeah, the situation in NA was crazy too, because they had top 8. Normally 4 players are supposed to qualify, but 3 players in top 8 were already qualified, because Ryan is going to play Master Duel and 2 of them were from the playoffs. So it was like 7 people out of top 8 are going to Worlds, and they just had to identify the one person who doesn't get to go. Which is, you know, very unfortunate for the one person that it hit.
You don't have to go into details, but tell me what of this is able to do something to me here on my turn.
Also very important, everything can be destroyed by card effects.
Right?
Anything untargetable?
How did they? I actually don't know this. How did they find the one person that didn't go? Like, what did they do to identify 8th place?
Questions we've all gone through. Not necessarily the nicest time to go through them here in that kind of a match, being so important. Okay, we got Ronaldo onto the field. Ronaldo now attacking the card we just addressed as being so problematic, attacking the Oceanus.
Standings after Swiss? No, that's not true. That's not true. They did not do that because I know there was at least one playoff match. There was at least one playoff match between the people that lost in top 8, but I don't know exactly how they did it. Like, did they do a playoff with all 4 that lost in top 8? Like, I don't know exactly how they did it. But the thing is, it also depends, right? It depends on who loses in top 8. Because, for example, if the 3 people that were already qualified for Worlds all theoretically lost in top 8, then you wouldn't have a problem. Because then you just have 4 new players for Worlds in top 4. There's no issue. It depends on how many of them lose in top 8, right? Like it, and I don't know exactly what the answer to that was.
Oh, and we use the graveyard effect of Terminus. We said spell cards will end up in the graveyard, so we can use the graveyard effect of Terminus here, banishing that Oceanus face down, dealing with it quite nicely.
Not the Oceanus!
Going into a Link summon here. Hold on, Leonardo might very much still be in this.
Wait, are we back?
Definitely.
Does Aeon have any sort of interruption besides its on summon effect? I hope the answer is no, but I'm scared of the answer.
It's not a summon effect, no?
Hyper invoked Aeon.
It would be exactly that, but maybe Danilo is also thinking whether he wants to do something on the summon.
Quick effect, declare an attribute. All monsters become that attribute. Okay. I don't think that matters against Patron.
Looks like we are going to...
Can matter in some matchups, but not here.
And from the way it plays,
I mean, we got an extra card, so I would assume that...
It matters if they use the Dominus. Oh, that's true. That's funny.
It does look like the deck that people were expecting from Invoked.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot going on.
I mean, he's playing a lot of blowout cards, right? He's playing the Shifter, he's playing Perulia even, so he's just really trying to make it as simple as possible for his opponent and then capitalize on that with the rather easy, rather low to the ground Invoked cards. And I mean, so far in this tournament, that worked out well. I mean, imagine Invoked Raging against Q-Tune. That card is crazy against Q-Tune. So I do see how we got here, but maybe Power Patrons are not necessarily the matchup that we were wishing for. Also,
Yeah, this doesn't search or theorialize if you don't have a Patron engrave, I think.
Well, I will need it, because he already knew he would be facing Leonardo, who's not also very known in the Italian community, but that is a concession by Leonardo! All of those invoked monsters, enough here for Danilo, and we got...
Okay, that was that game 1 was a little bit all over the place, because like the game that happened after Shifter was a little weird.
Let's go back into this round 4 match. And when I say immediately, let me remind you one more time, we are having new rules for this points playoff. The person going 4-0, going undefeated in this, and that could only be one of the 2 currently on screen, immediately books their ticket to the World Championship. And then it is only 2 more spots left to be playing for.
Dude, unironically, with 16 players playoff, I don't think you can make a better like system than what they used in Europe this time. I think that's just ideal, right? Like the person 4-0, you have 1 4-0 qualifies for Worlds. You have 4 3-1s. They play for 2 more spots. It's super easy, and it's just fair.
Goes first with, in my opinion, maybe you have a different one. The strongest.
They could have gone untimed for all games. True, fair enough. Like no, I mean I don't know, because like it's technically only 4 rounds of Swiss on the Friday. Probably would have been fine to just have them be untimed. Realistically, I think that would have been ideal. Yeah.
I think I got an idea why Leonardo forfeited the last match. I think he went into the Purification Power Patron without having a Power Patron in the graveyard, and then you can't activate the effect. The Surge. And I think that maybe was what... I wanted to find a funny English idiom, but I can't, so I'm just not gonna. But Leonardo is going to get this Ash.
That's rough.
That's rough, buddy.
But there comes Shade. So we ain't done with this just yet. Brings the TCG exclusive to the table once again.
called Etherealized Past Lull.
Ooh, I didn't know that's actually a card that you're attacking.
Yeah, same.
So it was granted good enough though by Danilo to be ashed, and now we are getting that Jupredo off the field, and we are probably going to search now. Plays another pendulum zone, pendulum card into a pendulum zone, and we are going to trigger both of these right here, right now.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I think that Danilo Siracusa has a Golden Lockbird in hand as well.
Ooh. Since the introduction of pendulum cards, I am afraid to tell Leonardo that Golden Lockbird has always been a crazy, crazy, crazy powerful card against any kind of pendulum deck, and there it is being dropped. And Leonardo, he stopped in his motion there for a second.
These are good invoked cards.
Visibly impacted by that Golden Lockbird being dropped into the graveyard of Danilo Siracusa. So how well of a field can we still put up through it?
So many of these cards that we have just seen in the last turn have just said that they're adding something from the deck to the hand. What is the way to pivot out of this? However, we've also seen that if you only have maybe an Ash Blossom in your hand or something, you can stop Danilo in his tracks quite easily, because he also couldn't play that much in the last turn, even though he got quite a bit of play. But also he had to start unideally with a Crowley versus an SP Little Knight, very few cards in hand. Question is, how much can Danilo actually do into a half board, if it even becomes a half board?
Let's see, Leonardo is trying.
I was kind of hoping that this wasn't a 2-0, because I kind of want to see what the Invoke deck does going first. I mean, I can imagine what it does going first, and I don't even know if I want to see it, but...
Beyond the Pendulum, because Beyond the Pendulum, of course, cannot search under Drone Lockbird, and we want to go instead for Exceed the Pendulum right away. And I mean, Exceed the Pendulum only needs one Pendulum monster, so the Drone Lockbird is fine to be used here as a link material.
And this card adds something back from the extra deck. Well, it is technically also a deck that does not apply to Droll and Lockbird, or that does not suffer from Droll and Lockbird, and now we're setting up.
Okay, we have scales.
That's a Pendulum summon there.
At least of a Rudras, I think.
Of the zones that Exceed the Pendulum is providing us. And maybe now just a Varudras and Prey. It is definitely going to be a rank 12. But will it be Varudras? I think it will be. Oh, rank 10. Yeah, never mind. And there it is.
Varudras and Prey. Such a strong card that has been, I want to say, underutilized ever since it came out. I mean, there was a brief phase with Yubel decks that used this card.
This isn't Archmage? No, I think it's just... What I've been told is just pure Power Patron.
Has now found his way back, because level 10 is back on the menu, baby.
Well, Leo, that's... At the end of the day, though, basically only Varudras pass. I mean, we don't know what the set card is.
I think the reason why they often classify the Power Patron decks as Archmage decks is because they play the Archmage counter trap. With the non-finito is what they often do, and then like the system or whoever does it, they think it's an Archmage deck when it's only really playing the counter trap, I think.
As well, but judging by nowadays standards for a combo deck, that is not necessarily overwhelming, and certainly something we could possibly break here.
But it is something versus 4 cards only, because we have already played into 2 hand trips.
Oh, let's go in. Alistair time.
So this, you can target a monster on the field, special summon it, and then this is, what, now a Spellcaster?
This one just attempting to special summon itself.
Oh, he is reminiscent. And that is immediately going to be answered by the Varudras, and we're not only going to negate, but also destroy here on Resolution, using both materials. And hold on, we can of course still also use the quick effect of Exceed the Pendulum on the opposing turn now.
We're gonna get a monster from our graveyard back. Danilo cuts that deck of Leonardo, and he is now going to draw 2 and discard 1, I suppose.
That is Nervado that we just brought back there. Discards a field spell.
Ginaldo is going to the extra deck. So we're getting the field spell back. So resource management on point for Leonardo. And now Danilo.
Summon Alistair!
Yep, every single time you stop this deck and its tracks.
I don't even know how threatening this Alistair is, to be honest. I mean, I guess the new Invoked are good at extending as well. It's not just going to be one fusion pass.
But this meme may go to world today.
But Busty, what are we doing now? There's 3 monsters on our opposing side of the field. They have decent stats.
Maybe
what are you doing?
Super Polymerization. We saw it in his deck.
There has to be something better in his engine. You can't only rely on Super Polymerization when you're breaking a field.
I mean,
that can't be the case.
I get what you mean, for sure. I do agree. It would be cool if there is something better.
Oh, we drew Fuwa for turn, I think. That's bad.
Also, the Magistra's cards in his deck could be really, really decent. And that's maybe where we are heading towards too. As we saw game 1 that there is Crowley in there.
Maybe we're going for a good old-school Purgatrio play.
I was thinking of Purgatrio as well, because that is with the piercing damage and everything, but he doesn't play that.
Oh, because we would have the Ash Blossom in the graveyard too, actually. Yeah. It would have been, oh, we are so old. That would have been cool.
We are very old, Leo. But that now is going to be...
The Virtuous on the Alistair.
Oh. That's crit.
Okay, so the thing has to use... we have to use from field, hand, banished, right? Or does it even use from hand?
Actually only works with monsters you control.
Yeah.
It is not working the way that the regular invocation was working, which we also have though. So even though the first new version of invocation will stop, the good old reliable still will be able to fusion summon here alternatively.
You could also use monsters that are banished and put them to the graveyard with Sword. But if you only have the Alistair banished, only have the Raging banished and nothing else, then you cannot do that.
Yeah, that's true.
So what do we have?
Okay, we do use the Alistair.
Just to get the effect ready, add it back to hand shuffle, invocation back later. But what are we going into? None of these cards in this extract, they look like the craziest breakers.
What can we do with the Albion?
Card that the deck now has the Hyper Invoked Aeon.
That could be a cool one for sure. Okay, we're using the Droll and Lockbird from our opponent to again go into the one that we have seen in the previous game, into the Invoked Sorath.
That one sets up a really good Aeon play. So for Aeon, you could use Sorath in the graveyard and then banish it.
Oh yeah, what a timing.
So we revive the Ash from the graveyard.
Important matches of his lifetime. He brings back the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. In the last game, he brought back the Perulia, and now we can just go into maybe another SP Little Knight. It seems like Droll and Lockbird and SP Little Knight. Well, if you have that, but I think there is a lack of synchro monsters in his extra deck.
Yeah, fair enough. But that would have been cool. I would have really pretty much enjoyed that. And now,
okay, now we just go for the Alistair, the Invoker. Yep.
Yeah.
And now we Miracle Fuse with the Sorath.
Are we using the on-summon effect? I mean, surely in this deck we are going to use that, as it is a pure Invoke deck.
I mean, the card basically most of the time just becomes Alistair. That's all it does. If you fusion summon, you're actually going to be able to discard a card and then add another invocation. Invocation isn't hard once per turn, right?
It's not, no. It really isn't, but Dominus Impulse now being used from Leonardo Zacchetti, stopping Danilo in his tracks. Now we are getting back the invocation because we have used the graveyard effect of the new invocation to get back the old invocation here. And we are using it again.
Oh wait, the invocation sword just gives you back invocation from the graveyard. That's kind of crazy.
One more time, let's take it for a spin, and this time that is going to be one that we haven't seen yet, and that is...
Or Alistair, yeah.
Another card from Corey that actually gets to search you.
The impulse was from hand. I assume that he drew it off of the draw 2, discard 1.
A Viracum, which is a nice negate, or a Gamma Summon, which is a trap card that lets you summon a bunch of monsters again.
The funny thing about this one is, it is a fire, but how does it not require a fire material? Like, that seems illegal to me. That would have been the new Purgatrio for me. But no, it isn't. But we are instead going to use the Albion from Leonardo's graveyard there as well. That's massive. Getting that out of rotation already.
So we actually get another search here with the Alistair as well, since we summoned a fusion monster.
And, yep, we have Red Up on that Invoked Bay Baron, and we are now certain about what it does. 2,450 attack points, also something that can just help here in the battle phase.
And did we search the Viracum, Divine Spirit of Artifice?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
The Invoke deck is an anti-KT deck. Okay, so just for my understanding, what makes Cool Tune, what makes the Invoke deck so good against Cool Tune? Is it just hard to interrupt with soft hand traps, like the 1-for-1 hand traps that just don't really work against it, or what's the reason?
We're really away through this. It's not much that Leonardo is presenting him with here anymore. So if we find that
Macro Cosmos, banish 3 track makers. I mean, yes, on the one hand, I get that, but on the other hand, those cards are pretty much auto win in a lot of matchups as well. Like it's not, it doesn't necessarily make it a hard counter to the Cool Tune deck, right? It's gotta be, if you want to be a hard counter to Cool Tune, you also have to beat it when you go second, right? Which a lot of combo decks don't really do that. But so the reason has to be that it plays well into the Cool Tune board, if it actually is a Cool Tune counter. This engine pushes well into Cool Tune cards. Yeah, that's got to be the reason. I mean, I do see the graveyard recursion, right? Like if they negate some of your cards and you just use them in the graveyard to get the other cards back, then it requires more interaction than they probably have, right?
This may be his game to already lock it up and make it a swift 2-0 in his favor.
At this point, Danilo is going through motions so quickly. We have some doubters here who think that Alistair is not going to be able to pull it off. By now, the field still looks big from Leonardo. So it would be quite impressive if he could actually go for a one-turn win here.
With Invoked out of all decks.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me. But that is the moment where not many many people in the audience and probably at home are even able to understand what's going on, because those cards are so new and they were not kind of unregarded by most people. But we are going for SP Little Knights, so yes, we are going to further break the field, but we're not going for game here this turn.
Every single time, I think now he's got it. Now the deck is just going to really power through.
Dude, we got Sanctifier set up right now.
We just activated the effect of Alistair to boost the Bay Baron by 1,000 attack points just to get it into the graveyard.
Dude, is this the third invocation?
The effect applying of the card, the OG effect, that little trick that usually comes in the battle phase, sometimes even in the damage step. But here we bring out, just with getting that extra Alistair into the graveyard, that so powerful fusion monster that we have been mentioning so much, that Oceanus.
And that one is going to make sure that if you are running over that pendulum monster, it's not going to see the extra deck. So you are setting up a little bit of a floodgate, another set card for Danilo as well. And how good are you going to be able to protect your Oceanus?
We will see, and it will be banished now. We're banishing the Exceed the Pendulum, and we're also banishing that Power Patron Pendulum monster because it was destroyed by battle. Doesn't go to the graveyard but gets banished instead, so never a timing for it to hit the extra deck. And now Leonardo, this is the turn where we need to make things happen. This is the turn where we are required to turn this game around. Otherwise, Danilo may just be running away with it. But I'm sure Leonardo is capable of doing it, as we have another copy of our field spell. And that's a good start.
We haven't attacked directly, but still we were able to deal some more damage. Oh, now that
oh god.
And Aeon comes in and is now going to be able to, I would say, banish 2 cards, right?
From the field and our graveyard, up to the number of monsters used as material, and we use free materials. So we can banish free.
This card is not okay, man. It's not okay, man.
Things up, but I think now maybe just going through the last options that are available to him, trying to figure out whether there is a way to stay in this game.
Bro.
That turn was huge by Danilo.
First of all, Danilo is allowed to take a little look into the extra deck and rip some cards of his choosing, so a targeted extra deck rip. That's a very Kashtira unicorn style.
Oh yeah.
Just a lot better because you actually get to choose multiple cards.
Or Crackle as well.
Bro, triple... I'm saying this for like the 5th time, but triple non-target banish. Is it non-target? Even if it's target, it doesn't make a difference. Triple banish from field and grave, and then triple extra deck banish is it is non-target. Yeah, dude, it's actually, come on, man. Who made this? The craziest part, by the way, is that even if the Invoked deck doesn't end up like becoming a meta staple or whatever, this card can see play in other decks, bro. People have played this card in Branded already because you can make it with like Mixuzia and stuff. Like there's going to be other decks who play this card in the future because it's technically relatively generic because it's just 3 fusions with different attributes. There is going to be other decks that make this card as well. It's insane.
The Heal-Tune Synchro monster, banishing all 3 of those. The Link 2 is gone that we didn't get to go for on our last turn. Oh, Leonardo checking once again. Is there anything else about this? You have already banished 3 cards from my side. You have also looked into my extra deck and banished 3 more. Surely now there's nothing else, and I don't think there is, actually. I mean, wait, you can change the attribute of things as well. I don't think that's necessarily important against this deck.
That can come up in some matchups, I think, and also sometimes you can fuse from the opponent's side, so you can manipulate their attributes. But Medius the Pure is a start. How far can we extend with it? Through the Oceanus.
Well, that is pure. We do.
Stop saying Oceanus, Leo, man. What? And I know he's doing it on purpose.
And there's Terminus too, and Terminus will end up in the graveyard because it is a spell card and not affected by Oceanus, and therefore we can just.
I know they're doing it on. I know these guys. They're doing that on purpose. I know it. I just know it.
He banishes the Terminus from the graveyard from the last turn.
Yes. And here we go. Use Terminus and banished it is. And does Danilo have cards in hand? I don't think he has, right? We're really down to the wire here. Nobody really having much to present anymore. Also, the field that Leonardo has isn't big, but yeah, Danilo needs to find a top deck here too.
But I mean, Danilo has Invocation in the graveyard and he has Alistair banished, so that is already some engine. This is what Invoked was always known for. Yeah. But now Leonardo gets to actually play the game, and that is something really, really scary. However, his resources are diminished. Even some extra deck rips will stop him from comboing off. However, we are only in game 2. If Leonardo gets this back, we actually might get to the scenario where there's going to be a double loss.
That's crazy. Okay, Link 2 is coming out. That is the Purification Power Patron. It's small though, so not necessarily something you're relying on in terms of attack points to like hold against the Invoked monster presented on the other side of the field. But we are going to be able to bring a Dark Fairy monster. We can link summon here as well with the effect of the Purification Power Patron if we like. Oh, now we use the on-field effect of Ginaldo.
It's draw 2, discard 1. No.
Nope, it is banishing One face down, destroy that card, and special summon one Junora from the extra deck, which has now hit the field. Junora is there. Oh my. Oh, you can really see Leonardo is shaking. He knows there's not much time. He knows he has to somehow win this game. And Danilo, of course, also not
I
necessarily...
mean, yeah, it does really suck to be in Leonardo's position here, because even if he wins this game, they have 10 minutes left for game 3. So at this point, he basically knows that, like, it's kind of cooked, which is a feels bad moment for sure.
Win, but he knows also needs to win in 10 minutes somehow.
Yeah, for Danilo, I think the goal is just to win this game, to go out 2-0 and get your ticket to the World Championships. This is what these players have been working for all year, and now Danilo is just praying that his opponent cannot build up a reasonable board because the battle phase was used. He will not lose the game in this turn, and he has a huge monster on the field in Hyper Invoked.
SP Little Knight looks into the
That is tough.
graveyard
I think
here,
that takes out the invocation.
Might be, yeah. Follow up. Possibly taken care of with that SP Little Knight. That SP Little Knight in this game, like how many SP Little Knights have been there? They're everywhere.
It feels like they haven't summoned anything else.
Yeah,
actually.
it really doesn't. And that is not Invocation, but it's a new
Sword.
Invocation. The Invocation Sword.
Do we not have a Alistar banish? I think we do, right?
We
A regular
do
Alistar?
have Alistar banished. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, now the graveyard effect of Fearalize. And we are going to bring back the Junora. Maybe we have more ways to clear the graveyard here. We're now below 10 minutes, and this turn is taking a long time here for Leonardo, but also it has developed quite nicely, to be fair. He has worked through all the stuff that Danilo...
Goddess!
We are just going to go into Underworld Goddess, leaving Danilo on 0 cards in top deck mode!
And Underworld Goddess, does she only negate monster effects in the graveyard, or is this everything in the graveyard?
It is only monster effects, and we do resolve our invocation. We get the Alistar. Oh wait, is it only monster effects?
Activates a card effect that special summons a monster from the graveyard.
Oh yeah, no, that never would work.
Wait, what did the SP banish last turn? Why was it not the invocation? Or was there 2 invocations?
Revealing all those cards right now.
No, I think we are invocating those out. Are we
Board.
going for another Hyper Invoked Aeon? That is so much attack. That is banishing a lot of cards again. Just taking out resources. Get the Impulse out. That could help our opponent. Get the Goddess out, perhaps.
Also, I mean, Goddess is alive, so we couldn't
Oh
really use
no.
that because we have used Dominant.
Oh my god.
Danilo Siracusa is going to the world.
Bro, I went into the extra deck for a second time, man. Okay, dude. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get to see the deck do the thing going first, but it does look kind of impressive. I mean, it does have, I feel like, a lot of room for a non-engine is the one thing I'm looking at here. Where we got 5 Charmies, we got Ash, we got Droll, we got Super Poly, and we got the Shifter. That's a lot of high impact non-engine that works well in the deck. Yeah. Watch the top 8, it goes for uninterrupted. I don't want to watch like multiple Invoke, because there's other things I want to watch. There's other things I want to talk about and react to, and not like spend like 2 hours on the Invoke deck. But yeah, because the top 8 was also pretty long. I know that, so I don't want to watch another 1 hour feature match for the deck. I was hoping to see a going. I mean, the thing is, I can imagine the going first combo. It's just probably gonna end up on like, you probably just put this in the EMZ, try to summon this, and then also set up the quick play is probably what you're trying to do going first, I can imagine. Maybe a Mechaba as well if you can. I don't know if all 3 are realistic, but